Dear colleague, I'm Alina Yanko. To your attention is offered report on the topic Methods for Detection of Modified DDoS Cyber Attacks on Web Source of an Information and Telecommunication Networks based on the use of intelligence systems. The author of this paper are represented on the slide. Web services hosted in information and telecommunication networks require reliable protection against cyber attacks. Most modern information services are characterized by increasing requirements for ensure availability. One of the negative type of cyber influence in info telecommunication networks is denial of service attacks. Existing approaches for detecting attacks for this class are primarily based on classical signature analysis and may also be based on the use of artificial intelligence at the current state of information technology development. However, existing approaches to implementing detecting system don't take into account the potential modification of cyber attacks, which makes their detection challenging. Therefore, it is proposed to use intelligence systems to improve the recognition of modified cyber impact aimed at denial of service of web service in information telecommunication system. General fuzzy inference system structure is represented on the figure 1. This system should be configured based on information about the level of traffic anomalies and data on the individual behavioral characteristic of a web source. It is proposed to improve the proposed approaches to detection of denial of service attacks by implementing several stages of applying fuzzy inference systems. At the first stage, it is proposed to use an adaptive fuzzy neural system to determine the level of traffic anomalies. See figure 2. Next stage, it is proposed to carry out measures to classify attacks based on signature and intelligent analysis methods, taking into account the behavioral characteristic on the host. And fee structure used to determine the level of traffic abnormality is represented on the figure 3. It is proposed to use the following input values: number of the incoming packets during the observation interval, number of outgoing packets during the observation interval, and rate of the change moving average of total packet number during the specified observation period. And fee structure for determining the presence of a DDoS attack on a web source is represented on figure 4. The number of input values is 3. K, which represents the traffic anomaly coefficient, x1, which represented the host load level during the current time interval, and x2, which represents the rate of change of average moving level of the host load during the specified observation period. The result of the inference based on the use of the NFIs is finding a functional depends to determine the presence of a modified attack. The training matrix, which was formed to this purpose, shown on this slide. The result of NFIs training is adjustment on weights of first and fourth layers neurons. The shown NFIs structure involves 5 layers. Each of the presented layers requires the further inference procedure to find the indicators of the presence of a modified DDoS attack. Expressions for each represented layers are shown on this slide. The methods for detecting modified cyber attacks involve the following steps. First, accumulate and structure statistical data on traffic characteristics of defined segment of info telecommunication network. Synthesize then FIS architecture and its implementation on the info telecommunication network web sources to determine the level of traffic anomaly. Sorry. Step up the unfit parameters by training based on the traffic telemetry statistics in info telecommunication network, which has been collected over previous time intervals for specified anomaly levels. Determine the level of traffic anomaly in info telecommunication network segment using ANFIS. Check the main characteristic of traffic with signature databases. Accumulate and structure data on the behavioral characteristic of the host of which the web resource is located, and synthesize and FIS to detect modified DDoS attacks, taking into account traffic abnormalities and the behavioral characteristic of the web resource. Conduct phase inference based on the FIS to detect a modified DDoS attack and make a decision of the presence of DDoS attack on web resource. Conclusion. The main stages of the methods for solving the problem of a modified DDoS attack detection in info telecommunication networks are considered. It shows that in addition to traffic telemetry data, it is necessary to make into account the behavioral characteristic of the host on which the web resource is deployed. Therefore, a feature of a synthesized neural fuzzy attack detection system is the consideration and using the traffic abnormality coefficient, the level of host load, and the rate of change moving average of the value of input variables. And this allow obtaining the value of the network traffic anomaly indicators, which provides a multi-stage attack detection procedure. We synthesize and FIS to detect modified DDoS attacks. Algorithm for training this system on test data were selected and its effectiveness was investigated. The proposed methods for detecting of modified DDoS attack will allow security administrators to receive early warning information about modified threats in order to make necessary measures to ensure the availability of web resources. Further research should focus on generating statistics to effectively train the neural phase system and conducting research with a different set of input parameters to detect modified DDoS attack in various segments of info telecommunication network. Thank you for your attention.